Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Gustafson here. I'm going to read you a book today. It's called Home in the Rain by Bob Graham. And since we're talking about spring this week, there's a lot of raining in spring, so that's why we're reading this book. Goodbye, Grandma. Goodbye, Francie, said Grandma. You both take care. It's wet out there and such a long way home. We will, won't we, Mommy? Replied Francie. Of course we will, said Mom. Their little red car seemed to muster all of its courage as it waited outside, ready for the road. Home in the rain. Didn't it rain? It hit the highway, bucketing down on Francie and her mom and her baby sister on their way home from Grandma's. It rained on endless lines of cars and buses, oil tankers and trucks, and the windshield wipers in despair. Shoo, shoo, shoo. But the rain was going nowhere except down. Francie, Mom, and baby sister a long way from home. A big rig passed on a long-haul trip, headed for heaven knows where. It rocked them in road spray and washed them up into the picnic area. Oh no. Above the highway, it rained on the hill, and a baby rabbit dived for cover. It rained on a field mouse, wet and confused in the blackberries, and lucky too, because 300 feet up, a crestle had lost sight of its prey. A crestle is a bird. It rained on the canal, turning the water white, and it rained on the fisherman, wet as the fishbowl. Young Marcus, water running down his neck, his fingers smelling of bait, wished he were somewhere else, while the water ran off the backs of the ducks. The rain soaked two men on the Western Highway interchange. They argued while steam rose from their hot engines. And not looking where it was going, the countryside ran straight into the edge of the highway, bringing with it the faint smell of farmyards. Francie, Mom, and baby sister, such a long way from home. Inside Francie's car, the fog moved in. She wrote her name and her breath on the side window. She wrote her mom's name with her finger squeaking on the glass, and then her dad's name. Her dad working far out to sea, gone 3 weeks now. She wrote it clear across the front window. My little sister, what will her name be, Mommy? Well, she's not quite with us yet, said Mom. But when will she have a name, Mommy? said Francie. Soon, said Mom, sometime soon. Francie saw a whole back window just waiting for a name. A window just waiting for Francie's wet finger. Could it be Alice, maybe? Or Isabel? Emma? Or Zoe? Well, they're nice, Francie, said Mom, but there's a name somewhere out there that will fit her just right. So they're going to have a baby sister. They ate the picnic Grandma had packed, plum jam sandwiches and hard-boiled eggs with a little sprinkle of salt. They shared the 2 stale toffees found under old parking tickets in the door. When is Daddy coming home, said Francie. Soon, replied Mom, sometime soon. Like the new baby then, said Francie, and felt a small movement against her ear. Well, yes, said Mom, brushing crumbs from her knees, like the new baby. Then the radio played. This is 3LFM, your spot on the radio. It's wet on the road, so you take care, folks. Francie and her mom and her baby sister pulled back out into the traffic. Far off down the road, they found a service station. Hail hit the roof and oil on the puddles made rainbows around Francie's toes. What was about to happen would not be noticed by anyone. Not by Sam Miller feeding his dog fried chicken legs, nor by Kate Calder losing her sour, fruity fizzies from a hole in her pocket, not even by a seagull who was eating them. What's happening? Do you guys see? I think I see something right here. Perhaps it was something unremarkable, not to be seen by strangers passing in the rain, for it was just a mom lost in thought and a small girl dancing. Francie, come here, said Mom. It's your new sister. We'll call her Grace. And Mom hugged Francie as best as she could with Francie's sister, Grace, in between. The three of them. They staggered and toppled a bit, did a slow and awkward little dance of their own, until Francie's feet bound to the ground again. Francie had a feeling she knew right here, with the smell of gasoline and her feet all wet on the pavement in the rain, that she would remember this moment forever. Wait until Daddy hears, said Francie. Daddy will love that, replied Mom. And way back down the highway, Francie's grandma sipped tea, rabbits and field mice were deep in their burrows, young Marcus headed home for a hot bath, and somewhere Crystal Chicks went without dinner. Then the sun covered the countryside, far off and away from Grandma's place to home, and out across the sea. Their little car, now full of courage, bumped off down the road. The windows rolled down and wind rushing through. One window was still fogged up. It had Francie's fading breath, and Grace still faintly showing. Right here you can see that she wrote Grace. The end. And look. It looks like Daddy's home. Boys and girls, rain helps the flowers and plants grow outside in the spring, so that's why it's so important that it rains a lot in the spring. I hope you have a good day.